Welcome to RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network with your hostess, Jen Josey. Join like-minded real estate investors and accelerate your business towards greatness. You will hear step-by-step strategies for success, interviews with real estate rock stars, and we will dig deep into past projects where we bear it all, including the good, the bad, and some just plain ugly. So get excited. Here's the bestower of badassery herself, the real Jen Josey. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm Jen Josey, creator of RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network. Whoop, whoop. On today's episode, we have two guests that will be sharing their badassery. But before we begin, here's today's badassery bestowment. A little badass gift to you. Today's topic is 5 ways to build a reliable contractor network. Every successful real estate investor knows that your contractor network can make or break your deals. The right team means smoother projects, fewer surprises, and better results. But how do you find and keep these top-notch pros? Let's break down the strategies to help set you up for long-term success. Here are 5 actionable tips to help you build a reliable contractor network. Number 1. Ask for referrals. Start with recommendations from trusted investors, agents, or property managers. They've already done the trial and error, so you don't have to. Number 2, verify credentials. Check licenses, insurance, and online reviews before hiring. A little research up front saves you from costly mistakes later. Number 3, start small. Test new contractors with smaller projects before handing over the big jobs. This lets you gauge their reliability, communication, and quality of work. Number 4, set clear expectations. Spell out your scope of work, timelines, and payment terms in writing. Clear communication keeps everyone on the same page and minimizes those misunderstandings. And number 5, value relationships. Treat your contractors with respect, pay them promptly, and offer steady work. When you invest in the relationship, the best contractors will want to work with you again and again. So RAIN Nation, remember, building a killer contractor network doesn't happen overnight, but with the right approach, you'll have a team you can count on for every project. Stay proactive, stay connected, and you'll keep leveling up your badassery. That's how you build a reliable business that lasts. Now, on to today's episode of the Real Estate Investor Growth Network podcast. Today, I'm joined by Terry Kerr, founder and CEO of Mid-South Homebuyers, a company that has purchased, renovated, and sold over 5,800 single-family homes in Memphis and Little Rock since 2002. Terry's leadership and commitment to quality has positioned Mid-South Homebuyers as a premier turnkey provider, helping investors nationwide build wealth through fully managed, cash-flowing properties. Joining Terry is Matthew Van Horn, the longest tenured employee at Mid-South Homebuyers. Matthew began at the front leasing desk 14 years ago when there were just 215 homes under management and has since helped grow the property management side to nearly 5,800 homes today. With deep experience in property management, client services, and acquisitions, Matthew now serves as Director of Sales while continuing to oversee the property management division. It's my pleasure to have them both on the show, so welcome Terry Kerr and Matthew Van Horn.
Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you very much.
Yay! Thank you guys for being here. And what a nice setup you all have. I love this. I'm so glad you didn't call in from your iPhone from your car. So thank you for that. But let's get started. And I'm going to start with Terry. And by the way, Kerr rhymes with burr, by the way. That's how I remembered it when I was going through the interview here. So
okay.
You founded Mid-South Homebuyers back in 2002, and you have since renovated and sold over 5,800 homes. What inspired you to get started in real estate and what drew you specifically to this turnkey model?
Okay, so
Loaded, huh?
yes, I love it. So what inspired me to get rolling is my wife and I were renting a house with our then newborn daughter, and we wanted to keep overhead low, so decided to buy a fixer-upper and instantly fell in love with making ugly houses pretty. So 2 months into a 7-month rehab, I let my wife know this is what I wanted to do. So quit the best job of my life, took a 50% pay cut for a flexible outside sales gig so I could make a run at the real estate business. So yeah, so the necessity is the mother of invention there. And then what brought me to the turnkey space was total luck. I was renovating a couple of houses that I was going to be holding for myself for rental and ran into a grade school friend that I hadn't seen in probably 10 years who told me that he had about 10 houses of his own that were rental properties and could he see mine? I said, yeah, sure. So he ended up telling me that he would buy the houses for me. I knew I'd make a couple of bucks, but I asked him, why would you buy these houses from me when you could go buy them yourself and save all this money? Because I'm going to be making some money off of you. And he said, because I don't have enough time and I want to have a bunch. And so in that exact moment, a business model was born. So fast forward, that's what we've been doing and just growing little by little every year for the last 23 years or so.
Well, I know you are a pioneer in this industry, but to kind of back it up a little bit, can you explain to the listeners what is truly a turnkey property?
Absolutely. So a turnkey property is a property that is already been completely renovated, or in some cases, brand new construction, where a resident has already been vetted and placed in the property. The property is already cash flowing, and the property is cash flowing the day the investor purchases the property. And then there is a management company that manages the property for the long term. And so, of course, we own the renovation company and we also own the management company. And so it is a truly turnkey deal to where when someone buys a property, all they're doing is getting their monthly statement from us every month, and we do all the heavy lifting.
Wow. And I've also heard there's another term called burkey, which I kind of hinted to. So what's the difference between burkey and turnkey?
Sure. So Berkey is pretty much where someone will buy a house. They will fix the house up themselves, renovate the house, and then they will refinance the property and then repeat, right? And so there are outfits out there that will specialize in helping an individual find this house, and their profit center would be getting a commission to help them find the house, and then giving a rehab budget to rehab the house. And then, of course, they typically would manage the house for that investor. The main difference is that with a turnkey outfit, the investor is already buying the property completely renovated,
Okay.
so there are no question marks. Now, when we buy a house to renovate, you don't ever know what you're going to find when you tear open the floor, tear out the walls, and we've got plenty of horror stories. They just happen, right? And so we take the risk out because we have already found all the question marks.
So, and Matthew, I'm getting to you here in a minute, but I love this concept because I coach students all over the country, and several of them are in California, where you can't buy anything even close to what we call the 1% rule in this industry. And you have chosen these areas. So why Little Rock and why Memphis?
Yeah, I mean, so the numbers really work here in Memphis and in Little Rock. The cost of living here is 10% below the national average. And so our dollars and our renters' dollars go a lot further here than it goes in most places in the US. And so maybe the homes that we invest in, maybe they're not quite as sexy, as a home on the beach, but our renters can enjoy a really high quality of life in their homes, and investors can make very strong cash flow. I know it's hard to find cash flow throughout the United States, but we still are blessed to have it here in Memphis and in the central Arkansas areas as well. So if you're an investor and you live somewhere else, you can live where you want to live and you can invest where the numbers work.
So for the turnkey type property, the investor has to come with, say, 20% down. Is that how that works?
25%. Yeah, you
Okay.
get a better interest rate if you put 25% down.
And then if you want to do the Burr key model, then are you finding the properties for the investors, or are they finding them and then you take over them and do the Burr with your team?
So we do not do the Burr strategy. We
Okay.
just are selling houses that are completely turnkey. We've got buddies that own Burr outfits, and they're great dudes. The one thing that I can say in favor of the turnkey model is that in the Burr model, the owner is having to absorb the question marks that are inevitably going to be there. And then also they're having to pay interest, taxes, insurance, and utilities on a property that is being renovated. And when you purchase a property that is completely turnkey, you're actually cash flowing from day one, and there are no holding costs. And holding costs are a big deal.
And they're huge right now because, as everybody knows, things are sitting a little bit longer on the market. So also going back to the Burr strategy, you're paying very high interest rate for those hard money loans or even private money loans at that time. So I just want to throw that in there as well. So going back to you, Matthew, who is going to get closer to his microphone this time. What? I busted you again. I know. But you've mentioned that the management team is the most important part for an investor. Can you walk us through why the property management is so critical in turnkey investing?
Yes, I'd say the only thing more important is just simply you and what your goals are personally, what you want to do with your time, what you want to do with your money. And so Turnkey is great because we allow you a ton of time freedom. We're like scrubbing bubbles. We work hard, so you don't have to. And so beyond that, obviously the property itself matters when you're investing, but the other two big things that are more important than even the property itself are the markets you're operating in, which we talked about a little bit here, how we've got great cost of living, we've got great cash flow here in Memphis and Little Rock, so we're blessed to work in a great advantageous market. But neck and neck with that is the management team that you're working with. And you alluded to it earlier when you were talking about having great referrals, great contractor networks, having a great team around you. In my experience, that makes all the difference, Jen. A good operator can even take an average investment and make it great. And a bad operator can take a great investment and make it awful.
And I know firsthand how that works because I had a 12 unit in Southern Virginia that was basically run to the ground. And I don't even, anyway, so I understand how important it is to have a very strong management company in place. So we were briefly chatting about some other people in this industry. What makes Mid-South home buyers stand out from other people? And there are some real listeners, there are some really crummy people out there that are trying to take your money and offer you turnkey properties. So what makes Mid-South home buyers stand out from the others?
Sure. One of the main things is that we specialize in completely renovated houses.
Good.
A lot of the market is, buying houses and painting them, putting in carpet, maybe replacing a condenser. The houses we like to renovate, we gut them. We're gutting the kitchen.
Nice.
We're gutting the bathroom. All new plumbing, electrical, tubs, kitchens, baths, roof, HVAC, water heater. So we love the gut jobs. We're good at the train wrecks. We have a staff of over 100 W-2 employees, about 75 full-time subs, 60 folks in the Philippines that help do accounting, application processing, all that kind of good stuff. So we're doing enough volume to where we don't have to make very much money per property, and it allows us to put more into the rehab. So much so that we have a hardware store in Memphis and in Little Rock, in a couple of 30,000 square foot buildings. So we're purchasing materials at such deep discounts that it allows us to do a deeper renovation without it costing us more money than our competitors. And then I'll say that we've got a bumper to bumper a 1-year warranty on our rehabs, and we're not purchasing a warranty, say per se, like a home warranty that you would buy if you were a retail owner.
Right.
It's an in-house warranty. So anything other than acts of God, we're covering bumper to bumper. We've got a lifetime rental guarantee to where if a property ever goes vacant for more than 90 days, we pay 100% of the rent. We're not sweating that because we don't have to worry about doing that because we price the properties correctly from a rental standpoint. That's a big deal because if you're unaware of what property should rent for out there, you can unwittingly purchase a property that looks like it's a good deal. But if the seller has overpromised on market rent, the deal doesn't work.
Right.
And so at the heart, we've been doing this for 23 years. One of our mottos is leave enough meat on the bone for everyone in the deal, because we want everyone to say, I want to do that deal again. And that is investors, residents, our internal staff, mortgage brokers, our closing attorneys, bankers that provide us with our lines of credit for flipping houses. And so we just work hard to make sure that everybody wants to do the deal again. And we've stubbed our toes enough in the last 23 years that, we're a lot more ironed out now than we were, 20 years ago.
And I think by your example of how great your company is, so many people try to replicate it. So, listeners, I can't stress it enough. Make sure you are doing your research on anyone who you are investing with. So, I love a lot of the things that you said. I didn't realize you had that many employees in this business. I love that you have a hardware store and that's just it. That's super, super smart. So what, or who I should say, is your ideal client? Are you looking for investors? Are you looking for, this will go to Matthew. Are you looking for people who maybe just retired and they have a bucket of cash somewhere? Do you accept 1031 exchanges? What's an ideal client for you?
Yes, I think there are a couple of avatars that are perfect for us. So if you are an investor looking for your first deal, I think we're a fantastic option for that because we have vetted everything for you. We take so much risk out of the deal by having identified a great property and having done the full rehab itself, like Terry was saying. So you're not on the hook for holding costs. You're not on the hook for just things that come up when you renovate properties. You're simply buying a cash flowing asset from day one. And so you can buy a property from us and you can start to learn the real estate game and start building from there. And hey, you'll have the time to do it because we're doing the work for you. But at the same time, we're providing reporting so that you're learning along the way. And at the same time, I was talking with an investor on a tour last month. He has 14 properties that he manages himself in Washington, D.C. And he was looking to invest with us, even though he's an expert property manager. He's been doing it himself, like I said, for I think 20 years, these 14 properties, but he's looking for time freedom. And so he's looking to turn that active investing into passive investing. And so we're a solution for that as well. It doesn't mean that we're only working with people who have, whether you have little experience or a lot of experience, I think we can be a great partner for you.
So I invest in Raleigh, North Carolina and North Carolina and Southern Virginia. And for me, it's so out of my comfort zone to invest somewhere where I have never set foot on the property. I haven't walked it. What do you tell investors that share that same control issues that I have? How do you talk us off the ledge, shall I say?
Yeah, we only get to meet about 5% of our investors, I think, the way it goes. But hey, we invite any of you to come on down. We have our next investor tour on November 13th in Little Rock and November 14th in Memphis. And hey, we would love to visit with you. You can see our warehouse here. You can meet the team here. We will walk the different properties in various stages of renovation so that you see all that we are putting into the properties. And so it might not be the exact home that you're going to be offered to buy exactly, but at the same time, we buy similar areas, similar houses. We have kind of a blueprint. I don't want to say cookie cutter, but we have a sort of system that we do.
Well, don't get me wrong, Matthew. I like the guy in Washington, D.C. If I don't have to go there, I don't want to, is my point. So, how would you talk me off the ledge and handhold me through this process?
So we're going to show you all of the custom reporting that we have. So you're going to be set up with a property management portal that gives you great insights into the billing that comes up. And we're going to interact with you as much as you want to be interacted with when it comes to communicating about the repairs that we're making. Now, of course, if we have emergency repairs, we're not asking for permission to fix the hot
Mhm.
water, so to speak. Like we're going to fix the hot water for Mrs. Smith because that's something we just need to do. But we're going to communicate it that same day, and so we're going to get the communication on point. When a property turns over, for instance, we're going out there the same day. We have what we call rovers who spend all of their day driving throughout the city, and it's kind of a beautiful thing. And so they're able to secure all of these homes the same day that they go vacant, the same day they're filming an HD video of, hey, here's all of the things that need to go into this renovation or into the get ready. And we're just going to keep you well informed from afar so that you don't feel disconnected from your property at all. But at the same time, it can be as passive as you want it to be.
Absolutely. And if I could piggyback on that, I'll even
Yeah.
say that, you know, we have about double the length of average resident stay. So in Memphis, the average resident stays for 2 years. Our residents are staying for about 4 years, and they stay with us because we offer value, right? But when those rovers do go out to check out the property, and we have to go through the get ready process, the same contractors that rehabbed the house are going to go in and whip this thing back into shape quick with materials that are already in existence. So when that does happen, speed is the name of the game. And so just wanted to let your listeners, especially your seasoned listeners, know how quickly we're able to get properties turned around and re-rented.
That that is fantastic. And you're making me just like, ugh, take my money. I love everything that you all are saying about this because me being knee deep in things and having like my badassery bestowment, having to go and chase down contractors and time, and you all have your systems in place. It just sounds just so refreshing. So I know you all are in Memphis and Little Rock consistently and because they offer such a high cash flow, but are you ever thinking about expanding to other markets?
We are, and we are not ready to announce that yet.
Did you see me go, what is it?
Yes, yes.
That is hilarious.
We're checking. We're sticking our toe in Dallas right now.
Oh.
Hopefully, we'll be back and get to visit with you again and be able to chat about Dallas. But right now, we're just getting rolling.
Yeah, and right now within the Little Rock market itself, we say Little Rock, but there are a lot of emerging suburbs outside of Little Rock where we're seeing great growth in addition to the cash flow opportunities. So even though we're saying Little Rock, we're really in all of Central Arkansas,
Yep.
when it
Okay.
comes down to it.
Yep. And then also, I do want to mention that because the demand has been much bigger than what we've been able to supply for some years, we've had a short wait list of folks. So between 45 and 90 days is how long someone would have to wait before we're able to start offering properties. Closer to 45 now because we have cranked up new construction direct to rental in addition to rehab. So we've been doing new construction now for about 3 years, and we've got 2 new subdivisions that we're developing on the outskirts of Little Rock, and we've probably got about 50 new construction sites going here in Memphis. So did want to throw that out for folks that like the new construction direct to rental. Same model, just new construction instead of a rehab.
Very cool. And do you all rent to Section 8 by any chance?
It's pretty rare. We do it some in Arkansas. In Memphis, it just doesn't tend to work out with the local housing agency. We find that it's just cost prohibitive with the annual inspections. We just see our investors having to take a huge hit every single year to get recertified, and it just doesn't work out as well. We've had a better experience, especially in Jacksonville, Arkansas, with some properties there. So sometimes it works out there, and but for the most part, it's just street rent.
Okay. And what about multifamily? What if someone wanted to go bigger and maybe do a triplex or a quad? Would you all offer those with your turnkey product?
We are not doing quads or triplexes right now, but we do run across duplexes.
Okay.
So I'd say probably 8% maybe of the properties that we offer are duplexes. But besides duplexes, we're not doing multifamily. We know that there is an opportunity there, but we're just kind of pick and choose our opportunities.
Okay.
You know, we've toyed with the Burr model. We've toyed with starting a title company. We tried 12 years ago starting a roofing company and an HVAC company that did work outside of our typical business model, and we decided just to come back to our bread and butter and just have one straight assembly line that we can focus on.
And I mean, it's so smart to know what you are good at and stay in that lane and just keep reproducing that. I'm a big believer in that. So, my from someone who lives in a little bubble, not in Memphis, I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm do not mean to get political. I'm not going that direction, but on the news, you hear that there is a lot of crime in Memphis and that they're sending the troops and doing all this stuff. What should you tell investors because I know it's a great place to invest. How do you kind of reassure investors who are considering investing in the Memphis area?
Man, I tell you, first off, do not believe the hype. Number two, come visit. Let's walk down these streets, right? I
Good.
mean, it's all I can say is come check it out yourself. And if you can't check it out yourself, just maybe not take my word for it, but if the model didn't work, people wouldn't be doing it.
Right. And there are many investing in the Memphis area. So, Terry, thank you for settling that for me. So, for someone who is on the fence, who's listening, and they are, like I said, on the fence about turnkey investing, what's one thing you wish more people understood about this business?
I love that with our business model, like Terry was talking about, I actually love that we can only point the finger at ourselves when
Oh,
things go wrong. Because sometimes things do go awry in real estate, right? That's the nature of the business. When you're in these other models where someone maybe referred you out to a contractor and then referred you out to a property management company, and those two don't have any relationship with one another, then you as the investor just have these two disparate parties just pointing fingers at one another. And that's just too convenient for each sides of those, whether you're the contractor or whether you're the property management company. I love that with our model here, we can only point our fingers at ourselves, and when something goes wrong, we do the right thing.
We do. And then also to kind of back that up, that's why we have the 1 year bumper to bumper warranty on labor and material and the 90-day lifetime rental guarantee, because there's only one place to point the finger.
thank you all for doing that because that is very rare in this industry. And you are right, there's a lot of finger pointing going on. So, do you have a success story of either a renter, a tenant, or resident, however you want to call it, or a investor with Mid-South home buyers that you want to share?
I was just looking at a deal yesterday, Jen, where we have an investor who invested with us he bought from us about 7 years ago. And he was coming to us because he's looking to harvest some equity now. And so he's actually looking to exit his investment. And I was looking at that, and he bought his property for $64,000 from us back in 20,
I know.
all right, in 2018, because that was the world then. And man, and then yesterday I was able to offer him almost double for us to buy it, and there's still meat on the bone for us to buy it and refresh the property and basically do another full renovation on it. And so I'm not saying that happens for everybody, but it did just happen yesterday, and it happens often enough, I will say. And so my point in that is, man, real estate is like undefeated on a 10-year timeline. There are ups and downs along the way
Mm-hmm.
for sure. But man, our investors who have been with us for 5 years plus, they're glad they have been. And it's speaking of 5 years plus, our residents, we have over 1,000 residents who have been with us for more than 5 years,
Wow.
uh, which is kind of staggering when I think about it because 5 years ago, we only had about 2,200 properties under management then. So that's almost 50% of renters staying 5 years or more. And I think it's just a testament to the value that Mr. Kerr over here provides at every step of the way.
I am very impressed because that is a huge feat. So can we break down some numbers here? What is I know this is just picking anything out of the air, but what is an average purchase price? What is the average money to put down? What is the average rent coming in? Can you break down some numbers for us?
Matthew, you want to take this one?
Sure. So if you're looking at a rehab property that we have, those range between 100 and 200,000, depending on the area, depending on the size of the house, a little bit. So, you're looking to put down between 20 and 45,000, depending on your personal strategy, whether you're putting 20% down, 25% down. And then on our new construction properties, some of those start actually under 200,000. We have some, I believe, start at 198.7, and those go up to about 250. And the great thing about the new construction deals is we have a great partnership with lenders where you're able to get qualified buyers can get 5.825% financing.
5.25. Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
5.825, right? That's just if they qualify, and they have the opportunity to pay down 3 points to get it down to 5.25.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness!
So it's a hot deal.
It is.
What's the price per square foot to build these new homes? Do you have any
Oh
idea?
my goodness. What is the price per square foot to build? It depends upon how much the dirt is. If we have to pay 20 grand for a sewer tap, it varies. And that is one of those question marks that we were telling you about. Sometimes that's awesome. Sometimes that's really not awesome. But yeah, probably about $115 a square foot to build.
Okay.
That doesn't include the dirt cost, and then you just kind of cross your fingers on some other stuff.
Nice. And then going back to Matthew, give us say a 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch property that you have renovated. What would the rent typically be for something like that?
Yes, so that's going to range anywhere from $1,200 a month in rent up to $1,750. Once again, depending on whether we're talking about a rehab or new construction, that can vary, but that's basically the range.
And the property management takes out what percentage?
It's 10% is
Okay.
the management fee.
Very standard. And what's the typical cash flow for your investors monthly?
So yeah, cash flows depending on the price point, but typically they're between $300 a month up to $600. Just depends on a higher price home is going to have higher cash flow. So typically.
Nice. Sorry, that got me very excited. All right. So last question here. How are they financing the loan? Is it a 30-year fixed? Is it something they're going to have to refinance in 5 years? What does the actual loan look like?
Yeah, I'd say about 75% of our investors are financing versus paying cash. So some just pay cash. And the ones who are financing, a lot on the rehabs are doing a 30-year fixed.
Good.
I'd say that's the main product. And on the new construction, like I was talking about, that's actually a special type of DSCR loan product, debt service coverage ratio loan.
Thank you for spelling that out for the listeners. I appreciate that. So how do they find a property? Is there a website with houses listed and they go, I want this one, and then they get the ball rolling? How's that work?
Yeah, so you'll notice when you go onto our website at midsouthhomebuyers.com, there are a lot of beautiful properties and they're all under contract. So we have the good problem of a little bit too much demand, if you want to call it that. I mean, we're blessed to sell about 650 homes last year, but it's still hard to keep up with the demand. So there's a little bit of a wait list, like Terry said, about 45 to 60 days right now. Thankfully, new construction has allowed us to control our own inventory a little more here lately, so that we can get those wait times down for our investors, because it used to be a lot longer. And so we're happy to do that. So once you go onto our website, you can get an example of things that we have for sale, and you can click to join our wait list on the website. Of course, you can schedule a call with our team. We're happy to talk you through the options. You can email invest@midsouthhomebuyers.com, and we can engage with you that way. But once you join the wait list, it's just going to be about 45 days before you start seeing deals emailed to you.
Well, before we go to the second part of the podcast here, I'm going to ask the last question directly to you, Terry. So since this is your baby, you created this, you are a pioneer in this industry, and bravo to you for that. Any final advice for investors who may want to get started but feel a little overwhelmed by the whole process?
Sure. I would say, if you're wanting to get started, pick an area. Now, are you talking about someone who's wanting to buy turnkey or someone who's wanting
Turnkey.
to okay. Yeah. If someone's who's wanting to do turnkey, and again, we want to work with everybody, right? But our website is designed from an education standpoint to show folks how to invest in turnkey anywhere in the US. So go to our website and just kind of devour it. There's a lot of stuff there that shows folks the rocks to kick over, the questions to ask, where are the bodies buried, right? Because you, as you mentioned, there are some bad actors out there, and this really shows folks how to underwrite the deals themselves, regardless of what market they're in. So I would say just kind of get started there from an education standpoint.
Huge. And Terry and Matthew, I am just thoroughly intrigued by all of this. So I am so grateful you two are here today. But we are going to move to the second part of the podcast, which is what makes you two badasses, which clearly you are. And I'm going to use the acronym BADASS, and the first letter is B for book. So I'm going to address this to Matthew. What's a book that's made a huge difference in your life?
So I came on to Mid-South in 2012, and I don't remember when exactly it was, but early on, Terry shared a book with me called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. It's
Great
not as
name.
Yeah, it is a great name, and it really it taught me that I deserve to be rich. It taught me that we can use our minds to just create out of nothing our realities and to create wealth and prosperity for ourselves. And so it was a really impactful thing for me. I'm so lucky just to have met Terry, who has been a great mentor to me along this path.
And that's such a mindset shift, is realizing you deserve to be wealthy. And because growing up, your parents would say, money doesn't grow on trees. And, so we do deserve to be wealthy. So I do like that. I'm going to have to check that out. So I'm going to go to Terry next here. Maybe back when you were first starting, you've given us some great advice today, but what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Okay, well, this is kind of silly. I'll trying to come up with something better. But when I bought my first house, my dad loaned my wife and I $30,000 to buy it. My father-in-law loaned us $30,000 to fix it, and he was an attorney. And he asked me if I had title insurance, and I said, "What's title insurance?" And so the best advice I'll say is get title insurance. But no, I would say the best advice I got, at least in regards to starting this business, is save up a year's worth of living expenses and then jump. Then just do it. Because worst case scenario, you fall on your face. What do you got to lose, right? And so one of my mentors, who's 86 now, had the pleasure of having lunch with him a couple of days ago. I remember walking every black and white square inside GNC store for like an hour and a half, talking to him about I was wanting to quit. And he's like, "How much money do you have saved up?" And I said, "I've got a year's worth of living expenses," which back then it didn't cost much to live. But I would say do that. Save you up some a year's worth of living expenses and then go for it.
That is excellent advice. And just A lot of people get into this industry thinking it's get rich quick. So having that year's worth is very, very important. So thank you for sharing that. All right. And I don't know who wants to take this one, but the D in badass is for drive. What drives you to be successful? Who wants to grab it?
Oh my goodness, so much. Matthew, you want to take this one?
Sure. For me, I grew up playing sports a lot, baseball and basketball. So I love to win, and I love to win, and I love to win with the team. That's just always been a part of me. So I love to win at whatever I'm putting my hand to, and I love doing it side by side with the people that I love. So the right answer to this question, of course, is I do it for my family, and so I want to see my family win, and so we're out here just trying to win.
Yep. And for me, I would say I grew up here. My dad told me, he said, anything worth doing, like, don't do it half-ass, right? And so I can't sit still. Like it's hard for me to sit still for any length of time. To relax, I like to work, and so I just like to continuously get better, sharpen the axe. I love working on the business. I love working on the culture of our business. I love working with emerging leaders within the company because I know that to get to where we want to go, we can't get there unless we breathe into all of our leadership and everybody on the team. And so I think what just drives me is knowing that helping personal growth within our leadership group also helps the company grow.
Yes.
And just the general satisfaction of watching kind of everyone go up with the company.
And I'm sure that's why you are so successful in this business. And I want to go back to Matthew for a second here. And I grew up playing basketball as well. And one of my favorite private money lenders is someone I played basketball with. I'm a power forward, by the way. So
Yeah.
she was the point guard. She was a little bossy at times, if you're listening, Christy. But she, years later, decades later, she is one of our number one private money lenders. So, those relationships you develop in sports. All right. The second A in badass is for aspiration. I'm a big goal setter. So what is a goal you are currently working on? Can be business, can be personal, whatever.
20,000 houses under management.
Goodness. Matthew?
Well, yeah. So
21,000 properties under management, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We will leave it right there. I love that. All right. The first S in badass is for systems. With a company as large as yours, I'm sure you have plenty of systems in place, but what systems do you have in place to help you achieve success?
Man. I don't know if it's the sexy part, but man, that's where the rubber meets the road.
Yes.
Amen.
Is having the systems in place. So we have internal systems that we've built. We've bought into some of the best CRMs that are out there. We have, and on kind of a different level, and I think this would be helpful for anybody anybody listening who's working a job or is working in their own business, just simply writing out an end of day report has been so helpful for me. I started requiring it of the people that reported to me. And then I got this idea, well, I should be doing the same thing. And so I started reporting to them my end of day report. And what's great about that is it has a certain structure where it's, here are the main things I worked on today. And here were my wins from today. And here was the main roadblocks from today. Here's a shout out to a team member I'm especially proud of today. And what is on deck for tomorrow? And the putting down on paper, what are the two most important things I need to do tomorrow? That's a huge part of it because because then tomorrow I better do it. I better do the most important thing. And so I just think that's so helpful. It's been so helpful for me personally. It's a little bit different of a system, but I think it's
a great system. That's huge. You're just setting yourself up for success. And it also, to me, it's giving yourself kind of a quitting point of the day so that you can go be with family, shut off the business for, in your mind. I'm so flummy today. Sorry, y'all. To kind of shut it off to realize I'm already setting myself up for tomorrow. Now I can go enjoy the evening. So Terry, did you want to add what are some systems that help you achieve success?
Oh my goodness. We love systems around here. We love efficiency. I can just say that we have built proprietary systems before we switched over to recently to Salesforce.
Mhm.
We're just in and out of meetings, and we're just constantly sharpening the sword. And my goodness, I don't know. When we first started, I was keeping up with everything on a spreadsheet, and then a buddy of mine said, "Well, you've got this spreadsheet. If you change this on one spreadsheet, I can make it change it onto this other spreadsheet." And I know that sounds archaic now, but this was like 17 years ago. And so then what we call the bird sheets was born, and because my buddy Neil's nickname is the Bird, and so I mean, everything gets an auto, there are auto emails. We have developed our business to where we do not have to try and remember things. We have our systems tell us what it is that we need to do. So when a property is purchased, an email gets kicked out to a lot of people because there are a lot of to-dos. And when that property is finished and it goes to the leasing department, emails are kicked out and there's all these automatic to-dos. And so we work hard to make sure that we use our brains to do our jobs, not to remember to do our jobs,
Huge.
across the whole business.
Yes, automation is just so very important, and especially in such a large business that you all have over there. So I could talk to you two all day. I'm learning so much from you, but the final S in BADASS is for success. And Matthew, I'm going to start with you. What does success mean to you?
Man, it's getting to do what you love with the people you love. That's what it means to me. And I'm really lucky and blessed to work here with Terry and with all of our great coworkers here. I mean, I truly love them, and I love the work that we're doing. It's not a charity, of course, but it is putting good into these cities and into our neighborhoods. And so it feels good. I'm really, really, really lucky and blessed.
And it's evident in everything that you have described today. And now we are going to wrap it up with you, Terry. So what does success mean to you? The pioneer.
Earlier I mentioned that we want everyone to feel like they want to do the deal all over again, and that boils down, like I said, to every single one of our employees. And we've got such an amazing team, and everybody cares so much. And success for me is having a business to where, yes, it's work. I mean, we need to go home and spend time with our families and go on vacations and all this. But success is having an environment where it doesn't feel like work, because you're surrounded with folks that are having a good time and know that they're making a difference, like Matthew said. Because at the end of the day, really at the heart of what we're doing is we're providing a basic human need for folks, and we are delivering a product that helps, let's say, a single mother come home after a long day of work and give her child a hot bath, not a cold bath, because the water heater was out this morning when she woke up, but she comes home and there's hot water. And so success is being able to provide the best quality of life we can for folks in Memphis and Little Rock.
Well, it has been an honor meeting you two. And one more time for the listeners, how do they find you if they stumble into a bucket of cash and want to just start buying up some properties in Little Rock and Memphis? What's the best way for them to find you? I'm going to address this to Matthew.
Sure. Go to our website, midsouthhomebuyers.com. You can email us invest@midsouthhomebuyers.com.
Well, you two are amazing. Thank you for doing what you are doing in this industry and paving the way for others. And I'm just so very impressed. So thank you both for being here today.
Thank you for having us,
You
Jen.
did.
Absolutely. And that is all. Thank you for listening. And we will catch you on the next episode. Now go out there and share your badassery. And don't forget, make it a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. Whoop, whoop.
Thank you for listening to RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. If you need more badassery, you can follow Jen Josey by visiting therealjenjosey.com or become a member of RAIN by registering on rainmastermind.com.